We're gonna go through furniture and decor that I would not recommend as an interior designer because some of these are honestly beautiful, and when done well, they look great in a space. But I've been seeing so many people that have been introducing these items and it does not feel cohesive. It doesn't do anything extra for your space except look cluttered and not good. So let's get right into it. Arches and curves. Now, I've always said these are such an incredibly beautiful feature to add in your home. The challenge and the problem actually that I'm seeing a lot of people introduce, they're putting like a single one, or even worse, they are painting an arch in a different color on top of a doorway. Oh no, it doesn't work. You're not fooling anyone. These arches and curve details are meant to feel cohesive in your space. If you're doing a single one, it doesn't work. It looks completely out of place and it doesn't give you a level of cohesion and it doesn't have that sense of repetition to look good in your space. Repetition, as I've said many times before, is going to be your key detail in your interior design principles to make any space look good. So if you're putting an arch or a curve, you want to have that motif carried in a few different areas throughout the space or the rest of your home so it feels purposeful. Having a single arch in your entryway just because you wanted an arch is not doing anything for you. I hate to tell you, but that Pinterest inspiration is not fooling anyone. Next on the chopping block is modern wall panels. Now, if you were born in the 90s or the 80s, or if you even remember the 70s, you know every single person had those wall panels in the basement, and that is the vibe that I'm getting from this. Wall panels can be done beautifully when styled and installed correctly. You have a beautiful frame profile, the minimal detail in between, and it looks cohesive. What I've been seeing lately is this increasing trend of people doing every room in their house as a wall panel. It honestly just looks like a corporate office. It's not giving you the level of texture and detail that you really want. It's not cozy. It looks really cold. And those wall panels, to me, they tell me you don't know what you're doing design-wise because you can't pick out a color. You don't know how to bring texture into a space. Now, these wall panels can be done beautifully. If you are, I would isolate them to a specific area, a room, or even a foyer. Having these panels on the walls give you that sense of depth and detail. But when it's repeated in every room, you lose out on that beautiful feature itself. If you do want to include wall paneling, by all means, do it appropriately, and less is always more in this case. Keep in mind, these wall panels can be extremely expensive. Even if you're doing a veneer or a solid, the cost can add up really quick. So if you want a more budget-friendly way to introduce texture or dimension into a wall, try a lime wash or a Venetian plaster. This is a really great way to add a softer level amount of dimension into a space, but you have to be sure to include in the entire room, not just an accent wall. We're done with that, okay? I don't know what influencer started this trend, but it is the candlesticks as the wall sconce. Now, I get it. No one likes the big light these days. We want wall sconces. We want table lights. We want floor lights. We want that cozy vibe. Anytime I see those or an influencer posting a picture or a video, it instantly reminds me of the medieval times. I don't know why. We are in the 21st century, people, and I get it. I love a good candle, but having them as a wall sconce is a fire hazard for one. It is close to drywall. Do you know how flammable drywall is? Accident waiting to happen. But also two, from a practical lens, these beautifully minimalistic design ones, where's that wax going? You know where? On your floor, and they're gonna be fucking ruined. I hate to say it, but that heat is going to cause discoloration on it unless you have like an LVL. In that instance, you could be flooding the room and it would still work out. These are, once again, a trend that I'm seeing a lot of people put into. And every time I see it, those influencers, I bet you they lit that candle for the picture in the video and then they blew it out. I'm like, why are you wasting your money on these things that you're not actually enjoying in your space? Keep that in mind. This has been another introducing trend that can be done well, but lately from a practical standpoint, it just doesn't work. And it is the combination of high and low pile rugs. The challenge with these high and low pile is when you're actually cleaning them, your vacuum is only hitting the high pile itself. The low pile is where all the dirt, all the grime, all the dust gets collected in. You're gonna have to take your multi-tool out, the different head on your vacuum just to get in those crevices and keep it clean. These high and low pile rugs are beautiful because they really give you a sense of dimension and direction to ground the space because you have that different level to them. If you're looking for that sense of dimension, you can still get a beautifully textured, styled rug that gives you that same effect without the combination of the high and low. You can have a single low pile, but it has different heights. That's going to give you that same level of dimension and less of the backbreaking pain of cleaning every crevice out. I've said this before and I will say it again. Reclining sofas. We've had the reclining chair for a while that, you know, your father loves. Everyone and their brother and sister has wanted a lazy boy. We've had the introduction of these modular sofas with the electronic component to it. So there's two things that always worry me when I see these. I can give them a point because I do like that they really integrate it and it looks super seamless. They're really contemporary looking and you would never actually know that they're a recliner sometimes. The problem is most of the hardware included on these is very cheap and you're paying a premium price for a lot of these units and they're usually super big and super clunky. The challenge with this is now this visual weight is where your eyes are drawn to in any space. You're taking away from the beauty and the design of your room, whether it be the paint, the artwork, a certain detail, elements. Now your eye is looking at the biggest thing in the room with the highest amount of contrast, and it really takes away from the beauty of a space. If you do like being able to put your feet up and lean all the way back, I would recommend getting a large fabric ottoman. That way you can still put your feet up and it's appropriate. Also, I'm going to point out, you better not have your shoes on in the house if you're putting them up on furniture because that's just gross, people. But to give you that extra element of making it functional, get one of those large trays for the ottomans. That way you can have your remotes, your books, your decor, a vase and flowers, and it looks purposeful instead of like, yeah, we just like to laze out and veg on this giant sofa that reclines back. I'm like, you're just sleeping on it, people. It's just a glorified bed at that point. It is clear to me that we also need a reminder about barn doors, people. I don't know if it was Joanna Gaines or someone else on HGTV that is trying to bring these back. Do not bring back the barn doors. They are the cheapest possible version of closing off a space outside of literally putting a curtain in front of it. Barn doors literally have no function besides closing off a room that doesn't require looking into it. You don't get any added elevated design to it because the hardware is massive most of the time, unless you get those contemporary ones. I actually don't mind those ones that have the shadow perimeter that you don't even see the track. But then again, these pocket doors really limit the amount of wall space you have access to. Now, when that slides over, if it's a 30 or 36 inch door, that's a pretty massive door. You're now losing out on that wall space for an artwork, mirror, or the negative space that you may need in a room to make it look designed well. If you do like the idea of a barn door, because I get it, if you live in a small space, being able to have no swing door is honestly a godsend. Get a pocket door. I know you're gonna come for me in the comments being like, well, a pocket door is so expensive. Yes, you know why? Because it is worth it. A pocket door is 100% always worth it in any renovation. Yes, you do have to buff out a wall a little bit larger. So from a 4-inch, you usually have to go to a 6, sometimes a 7-inch, depending on the size of the actual door itself, but it will always be worth it, especially if you get those soft close tracks. Spend the extra dollar on them. If you want one of these, it will always be worth it to save you that extra space and reduce that swing door access that you have in other designs. We also need a reminder about stock art. Oh my God. HomeSense, Winners, Marshalls, Home Goods. Oh my God. These are the culprits that have created almost like a cult-like following around stock art and stock images. They are putting them up on walls. They're printing them on super cheap, like plastic. Ugh, they're not a good look. If I go into home and I see a beautiful landscape, 1, it's beautiful. 2, come on, it looks like the Microsoft wallpaper at this point. You could literally find a local photographer, an Etsy artist, a print shop online where that picture, you can buy the digital print of it. Print it out, frame it. Trust me, it is going to give you the luxury, high-end, artistic look that you're looking for to put on the wall. If you're putting stock up out on the wall, honestly, it's not doing anything for you. It's not doing anything for your space. It is one of those trends where people will put it up on the wall to fill up that negative space and you get sick of it. Art should allow you to feel something. Art is not for everyone. Every design, every space is going to be different. But when I walk into a space and I see someone with a curated curated art wall, whether it be super expensive or budget friendly because you were purchasing prints from an artist, it shows to me that you are appreciative of not only the creative field, but living artists. Dead artists don't need your money, people. Find a living one that's able to do and create something for you. There are great artists out there, even 3D renders. You could do so many great things with art that is meant for your space and for you because you enjoy it. If you're getting a random one up, oh my God, even IKEA probably hates me at this point. But if I see another one of those fucking Golden Gate bridges or that like jungle, like walk-through bridge, it tells me you have no taste. And I'm sorry that you have to hear it from me, but it's the truth. The only thing worse than buying stock art is getting the stock art with the watermark on it. Oh my God. Getty Images or just the stock art like X through it. Oh, people, I'd rather you not put anything on your wall at all and keep that negative space until you find something that actually feels meaningful to you. There's this new fascination, introduction with distressed pieces. Now, I have never been a huge fan of vintage, I think only because I grew up with not so much money. So I was like always having to wear Value Village clothes, and that smell. What the smell? I don't know why. It is a universal scent that is across all vintage furniture, all vintage clothing. And to me, it doesn't do it. But there's been this like need and want, but like we want character in our space. So everyone needs to bring in these vintage pieces that look so aged and old. There is a great thing about design, and the great way to make a space look great is the combination of old and new. Now, I know I'm biased and I like only new, but once again, if you want to curate a space to look personalized, you need to have the combination of both. You can't just go all old or all new because it looks completely out of place. It also doesn't give you any character. Every time I see someone that just has all vintage furniture and all vintage pieces in their house, I'm like, oh, okay, I get it, but it has a musty scent to it, and it's not great. It feels like you're walking into a very hazy room that is just old. I know that sounds really pretentious of me, but for me, it doesn't do it. Getting items that look old is not cute. Even like the distress, people are like, oh yeah, we're gonna pre-age this. We're not gonna condition this leather because we want it to look old. Why? Why do you want it to fall apart? Why do you want it to look like it's falling apart? I don't know. That's just my personal preference, but that's not something I'm on board with. I don't understand this obsession with like bringing back the olden days and the great things. I'm like, we're moving forward, people. Save the past for your therapist, okay? Now listen, I could probably go on forever about many more items, but I'm gonna have to keep that to add to this series. But once again, this is why you're watching me. You wanna know what's in and what's out. That's why I'm here. Your design daddy is here to serve, and that's what we're gonna do. Like I said, if you have any of these and they bring you joy, by all means, enjoy them. But at the end of the day, you've come to my channel. There's a reason you're watching me. You wanna know what's in, what's out, what's good and what's bad. We're talking from a functional standpoint, but also a practical standpoint. Because like I said, a lot of these elements can be beautiful when used properly in your space. But if you're just throwing them out all willy-nilly like that, it's not doing anything great. I'm sorry. If you are planning on redoing your space or adding anything to it, I always start with one thing. How do you want the space to feel? Start with a feeling rather than a look, and you're gonna be able to curate a space so much more personalized to you that you actually enjoy, and it feels timeless because you don't have to keep replacing those trendy elements. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok for all my daily tips and tricks at Mr. Phoenix Gray. And if you're ever second guessing yourself, just ask, what would Design Daddy do?